I'm an independent voter.
I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
I'm voting for Trump.
I don't think conservative policies are very good at achieving what I believe is good for society.
This is a message for all of those who feel our country is too divided. We know collaboration between opponents is foundational for a healthy democracy. That means people who disagree fiercely must still build the world together. Do we agree?
Donald Trump is kind of a vacuous narcissist.
I kind of see Kamala as more of just the face of a democratic machine promoting policies that I think is going to destroy this country.
He promised so many things, and to me it's like he lied.
I believe that the Democratic Party in general represents it way better than the Republican Party.
The Republican perspective is that this is causing illegal immigration to skyrocket.
As we see with the border bill that Democrats tried to pass, and Republicans shot it down.
World in Conversation is leaving behind the old paradigms of debate and win-or-lose conversations, leading the way for opponents to join forces and break new ground. Our trained facilitators step directly into the most pressing social issues of today, confident that every viewpoint holds a piece of the solution.
Illegal and legal immigration doesn't seem as much of a distinction at this point.
Like Medicare for all.
Student loan forgiveness and
just overall, I don't feel as safe as I did.
That he's very genuine to himself, but I don't think he's actually genuine to any of the politics he represents.
So the tensions of our different ideas are awesome, but how are you going to continue this collaboration across ideas that you don't agree with?
And holding those people accountable that we have influence on, that we elect, is something that I think we really do have power on if we all organize together.
Mm-hmm. What would you do if you saw each other on the street and one of you's a winner and one of you's a loser?
We are the ones that really need to step in and make sure that whatever the result of the election might be, it is respected.
People like you who are willing to engage one another, willing to engage across parties, across ideas, have a lot of influence. How are we going to stitch together the electorate, the people, the citizens, so that we actually can move forward together?
For over 20 years, we've pioneered a revolutionary approach that empowers those in conflict to create solutions together. We can solve problems with our opponents, one conversation at a time.
Yo, listen, this is the last week, okay? And given that it's the last week, I know that you all are feeling, you're feeling some kind of way, right? You're here, but you're not really here. Am I right, bro? You're here, you're not really here. You're going to want to be on your phone. Oh, who knows? Dude. Just let's get through this, all right? We have an hour and 5 minutes. Okay? Let's get through this. Don't talk, all right? Don't make noise. Let's make it happen. Okay? I want to hear what these students who are volunteering today have to say. All right? So, can the three volunteers come up? Actually, bring your phones with you. All right? No, they don't need microphones yet. So here's what's up. Bro, can you go to the next slide? Here, this is the title of the class is My Truth. Okay, y'all? My Truth. All right, go to the next slide. And this is a question, this is a starting question you all are going to get asked. All right? So what I want you to do is I want you to come up with your answer before you hear other people's answers, okay? So what if you could go through the door over there. take your phone so you can take notes and write out just basically, and they sketch a few bullet points about how you would answer that question. Okay? We good? So you could just go hang out in the hallway. I'm going to do what my truth is, and then I'll come get you. All right? So you're going to be there for 8 or 9 minutes. All right, here we go. Hang on. Yo. Okay, I'm going to tell you what my truth is right now at this stage. Like it changes all the time. But before I even finish telling you what my truth is, my truth will change. But you're going to get what it is when I first start talking. Okay? And I'm realizing like we're getting to the end of the semester, so I feel like I actually can say a few things. So I'm going to tell you what my truth is. And that is that there are no clear answers to anything, and truth is always somewhere in between polar opposites. It always is. Doesn't matter. When I start feeling really extreme about something, like really certain and really annoyed or really happy or really something, and I lean in some direction, I always can stop myself and say, wait, hang on a second. How is the opposite or something very near the opposite also true? And then I go to the other side and I see something that's true. It always happens to me. And in this class, it's very much part of how and why I do the class the way that I do, but also a lesson that I'm trying to demonstrate in always, day after day, in this classroom, in everything that we do. So it's like this, it's kind of like this moderation thing. No matter what, I just twist it. It's like a kaleidoscope. I see something, I turn the kaleidoscope, I see something else that's equally clear and seems very different. And I'm going to give you an example of how this operates in the world. Because right now, there's this conversation going on. As a result of, wait, hang on, don't switch it. You know, this CEO that just got, I guess you could kind of say assassinated, really, just got killed in New York. And he's part of this healthcare company, and there's a lot of conversation about the healthcare company and about all of the kind of devious and nefarious things that they've done. And in him as well, it's actually kind of unnerving how people have been pretty callous about this guy dying. But I want to show you something, because I feel like it has nothing to do with Social 19 in a way, with the topic of this class, but it has everything to do with a big conversation that's happening right now. So, bro, go to the next slide. So look, you hear this term regulation. And in the 4 years of the Donald Trump presidency, the next one, you're going to hear it a lot, because this is an issue that is very much on the table. It's on the table with the Democrats as well, but it's very much on the table. And regulation, and I'm going to show you, again, remember, I'm going to show you how balance operates for me, okay? In the way that I see things and how I think it operates in the world. Regulation is when you put rules, for people rules, procedures, these exist so that individual, just what I say right here, right? So you're trying to prevent harm to people, and you're trying to ensure that there's a fairness in the world. So the way this operates in this class is that we know that human beings will operate in discriminatory ways. We know that. We know they have done that. We have a long history in this country of people discriminating against other people, mostly minoritized groups. So we see that. It's part of life. And the only reason it stopped is because we stepped in, the government stepped in, really at the demand of the people and said, hey, we're going to pass these laws and we're going to make this really impossible or illegal for these discriminatory actions to take place against these people. So we passed laws. And then sometimes those didn't work really well, and we passed more laws. And so there's always a tendency to try to fix problems in the world by passing laws and making rules and to regulate people's behavior. But the problem is you can only regulate people's behavior so much, because every law is, and every rule and every procedure that people have to follow is just onerous to them. It's just stuff that just gets in the way of people just doing the best they can and living the best way they can and just taking responsibility for themselves. So you have this thing going on. Do you have to have regulation? You have to have regulation, okay? But you can't have too much regulation, because if you have too much regulation, then everybody's just walking around being like robots and following these rules, and you curtail innovation and you curtail people's behavior. And this is, of course, what's on the table right now for the next 4 years, because the current administration is saying, look, there are far too many regulations, and we need to cut back on these regulations. The past administration, the Biden administration, said there are far too many regulations. They just see regulations in other places. So this is what government is, and this is why people say we want as small a government as we can possibly have in order to deregulate, to not have too many rules that are guiding our behaviors, to allow us as individuals to live at the best lives we can possibly live and be happy and be free and take responsibility for ourselves. So you don't want lots and lots of regulation. Is that cool? Does that make sense? All you business people, you get this, right? Because you talk about this in your business classes. But sociology people and everybody else should think about it as well. Okay? So, for example, we could regulate all sorts of things about race and inequality, and we've tried to do that. And, people push back against some of it because they say, wait, hang on, that doesn't make sense. What are you doing? You're telling people they have to act in certain ways. You're demanding that they do. All right? So here, let me go to the next slide. But you got a problem, right? You got two things that are happening. You regulate people, and then you got all these rules, and they say, why do we have to do it in this way? Like, what's the point of that? Because you told us we have to do this, and so we have to do it this way. On the other side, we have, wait, why isn't that regulated? Like, why are people allowed to get away with that? Like, I was on an airplane just a week and a half ago, and they just changed my seat. I bought the seat to sit in this seat right here, and I get to the desk, and the airline says, you're no longer in that seat. We changed you to another seat. I'm like, how is that possible? How are you doing that? Like, you can't do that. And they're like, well, we can do that. So then we say, the airline shouldn't be allowed to do that. Or they leave us sit out on the tarmac for 5 hours, and you start demanding the airline shouldn't force people to sit on a plane for 5 hours. Like, how is that legal? How is that possible? Well, it's possible because there's no rule against them doing that. Although now we just passed a rule. But it's possible they can change my seat because they can. And so then people demand regulations. How is it possible that United Healthcare, the healthcare company of the CEO who just got assassinated, how can somebody need an operation and their doctors say they need an operation and they have insurance to pay for that operation, and all the paperwork gets submitted to the insurance company, and the insurance company looks at the paperwork and says, denied. And then you say, damn, that should be illegal. That's what regulations are. That's why we have regulations. That's why we have it. You see? That's the point. You can't live without regulations. But also, you can't live with too many regulations. You see that? So you got both things. It's like, oh, yeah, if we don't have regulations, people will just run wild. Penn State would be allowed to charge anything they want for tuition. But there's certain people that come along and say, nah, you're not allowed to do that. So you got to have some regulations. So here, oh, but wait a minute. But that's a lot of regulation. So then you're over here and you say, yeah, you need some regulation, but you don't need too much of it. Have as little as you possibly can. You see how that is? The balance. Everything is about balance. And in the world of Social 19 and race, culture, and ethnicity, everything is about balance. You got to have a little bit of gun control, my friends. Because if you didn't have a little bit of gun control, some of you all would be walking into this room with loaded AR-15s all across your back, because you just would be, because you just would want to do that. And so we pass a regulation that says, nah, you're not going to bring AR-15s into 100 Thomas. And you know what? You're going to bring AR-15s in 100 Thomas, and one of you knuckleheads is going to drop the gun, and you're not going to have the safety on, and it's going to go off. Because one of you is going to be a knucklehead and do that. And so we're going to have a regulation, and that's how we go. But now, whoa, regulation, but how much regulation do we need? Do we need how much? Where do we stop? You see, this is the point. When you think about Social 19, as you move on, think about balance. It's about balance. And it's all about balance. Is that cool? Dude, later. All right, are we good? All right, man. I don't know why I felt compelled. I don't know why I wanted to say that. Sometimes I just wake up, and you know what? There's somebody who would watch the video of this class, and they would say, because they're trying to regulate what I'm allowed to say in the class. There are people who are trying to regulate the fact that we even teach a class on race. That if they could regulate it, we wouldn't even have Social 119. And now they watch that video and say like, whoa, what does that have to do with race, ethnicity, and culture? And then they would use that as an example to regulate me. And to say, Sam Richards, you're not allowed to talk about anything in Social 119 if it doesn't directly deal with race, ethnicity, and culture and the subject matter of the class. That's how it rolls. You just go on and on and on. And this isn't about Republicans or Democrats, because the people that would regulate that would be people on the right. And the people that would regulate the guns would be people on the left. It's just the thing that we're dealing with all the time. All right, man. I'm not sure why I said any of that, but I did. And so here we are. I'm ready for our three people. Yeah, go ahead, dude. I'll get our people, man.
Radicals see people who are on the neutral side as their opponents, as being on the opposite side. So if the left side sees a neutral person, they perceive them as right. If the right side perceives a neutral person, they perceive them as left.
Yeah.
How do you avoid looking like a bigot in both sides if you're trying to be maintaining that balance?
The only way to avoid that, here, we're going to start, by the way, we're starting with you. You two guys can have a seat. So, hey, you can have a seat up here. So the only way that you deal with that is you're just aware of it all the time, man. And you just go back and forth. You bounce back and forth. So if you're listening to me, for example, you see me just going back and forth all the time, but not always. Like there's a couple readings in this, and for exam number 3, that are very opinionated readings, and you might ask like, whoa, how is it that Sam chose these readings? And the reason Sam chose the readings was because it was just kind of random. I just said like, this is a good reading. And I said another one, this is a good reading. And I wasn't thinking about, we got to balance this out, because if we have a really conservative reading, we need a really liberal reading or video or something for you. I didn't even think about it. I just Julie and I just stuck them in there. And so like, okay, there you go. But you do your best. All right, man. Alina?
Yes.
Or Alina?
Alina.
All right. So tell us about yourself.
What do you want to know?
Well, the standard, like.
I'm a sophomore, majoring in industrial engineering. I'm an international student, so I'm from India, live in Kuwait.
You lived in Kuwait for how
My
long?
entire life.
Your entire life?
Mhm.
You speak Arabic?
No, I don't speak
How
Arabic.
do you live in Kuwait and not speak Arabic?
Most people speak English there, so you don't ever need to.
Okay,
And
so
I was ever in a situation where I needed to know Arabic.
you were never in a situation. Did you go to international school?
I went to a British school,
Yeah,
yeah.
of course you did, because you speak, yeah, I hear that. So, wait, I just want to say something, right? So, people have this idea here in the United States that when people migrate to the U.S. for long periods of time, they should learn English, damn it, this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what I want to say to all of you people who think that people who migrate here and live here from other countries should learn to speak English, what I want to say to you is, this is actually a global issue. There are people all over the world that live in other countries that never learn the language of that country because they don't have to.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, did you have Arabic speakers who critique you for that?
No, because they all know English. I've been in situations where they're speaking Arabic, but then they know English too, so they'll switch.
Yeah,
you know?
Listen, when I was in Kuwait, I don't think I met maybe a couple people who struggled with English.
Right. Yeah.
Really, a couple people, and even. But mind you, I wasn't hanging out with Bedouin people, and I was in Kuwait City, so.
So most people would know English there.
Would know English, and most people I was hanging out with had gone to university and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So first off, just let me ask you this quick question: how'd you end up at Penn State?
My brother went here, and a lot of people from my school came here too. And so when I was applying, I got in, so I came here.
Oh, your brother was in my class, right?
Yep.
Was he?
Yeah. Last semester.
Last semester. All right. All right. So listen. What's the one thing you know to be true?
What I came up with was nobody actually knows what they're doing. Everybody's just making it up.
Yeah.
As they go along.
Can you say more about that?
It's more just a way of thinking. I'm not talking about very specifically in your job or career. I'm just saying in life generally, nobody really knows what they're doing. Everybody's just making up as they go along.
No, people don't really know how to live, how to live the right life or the good life or the best
exactly,
life.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's just nobody, there's no such thing as the right life. So there's no path for people to follow. They just pick up where they go, pick up things where they go from different people that they meet.
Uh-huh.
So
and they just follow people around them, like their families and.
Yeah. So what they know to be true. Yeah.
And what religion are you?
I'm Christian.
And can I assume your parents are Christian?
My parents are Christian. My entire family is Christian.
Do you believe in Jesus?
Yes.
Well, so what if you weren't born into a Christian family?
Then I wouldn't believe in Christianity.
Well, how can you believe in Jesus if you know that I could have just been born somewhere else?
Because I believe in it because of my parents, my upbringing, the way I've the people I've been surrounded by, and so that's why I believe in it. So then if I was brought up in Hinduism or if my parents were maybe atheists, right, I'd be picking whatever I believe to be true. But right now, what I've been exposed to the most is Christianity. So then
okay, hang on.
Yeah.
So sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, all right. But listen, I just want to push on this a little bit. Okay? By the way, Christians, okay? I'm not trying to talk her out of being a Christian, okay? Jesus lives in her heart. He's not going away because of anything that I say, okay? Although I'm going to work really hard to just get her to look at that for a hot minute, okay? So, dude, I can't believe I just said that. Jesus lives in her heart. Christians, don't be offended by that, okay? It's all good. So, But here's the thing. You've already said, okay, but you've already admitted no one knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
So you don't know what you're doing either.
No.
So that means you basically are just following your parents.
Yeah.
So you don't have to think much about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
So, okay, so you don't know what you're doing. It's kind of a big thing, though.
What is?
Well,
like just following your parents?
Well, yeah, in a way. Or choosing how to worship God, I think, is a pretty big thing.
I guess so, yeah.
Well, if you're not really making a choice. You're making no choice. You're just following them.
As in, I feel like we were given a choice, of course, but then because that's how we grew up, I guess it's just that's what we follow.
Well, no, you're not given a choice. Your choice goes back. Okay, first off, you're Indian, right?
Yes.
So if you go, we don't have to go very many generations back.
Okay.
That your family, they were Hindu, or Muslim.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and then they because the main Christian conversion in India.
Yes.
Did only really happen last century, and even then, so had somebody in your family. Somebody, maybe on both sides, not had that moment where they just went, oh, God, and they went toward Jesus instead of Krishna or Vishnu or wherever, right? Whichever of the, 10 million or so Hindu gods they decided to follow.
Yeah.
If that hadn't happened, you'd be up here talking about being Hindu.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. All right. Huh. What? So your idea is that we're kind of winging it. Do you feel like I'm winging it?
Yeah, right. So you have someone in your ear too. So
Yeah.
when you run out of words, someone's telling you what to do.
I don't
yeah.
have it today, though. I didn't wear my earpiece today, so I don't have anyone telling me what to do. So that's it, man. It's okay. No, but do you feel like you listen to me, things that I say?
Yeah.
Do you feel to a degree, I don't know. I don't have the answers. I don't know what I'm doing.
Isn't that the concept of sociology?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I take that as like a compliment, by the way. Okay, let me ask you another question. So, wait, hang on. So people don't really, they haven't figured it all out. They're just kind of getting by. And the other thing I will tell you, how old are you, 19?
I'm 18.
18? Okay. As the years go on, you will see how true that is more and more and more. You'll see the truth of that. Because the older you get, the more you really see that we truly are just, no one really knows. We're just making it up. And the people that cling the hardest to their beliefs, whatever those are the ones that probably know the least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or are the least certain. Yeah. Hey, so let me ask you another question. So you've been sitting through the class, and you've watched and you're here in the U.S. for, well, it's only been 4 months or so, right?
I'm a sophomore, so...
sophomore? Okay.
So
all right, so a year and 4
too.
months. All right. What have you learned about Americans?
Like new?
From being at Penn State, yeah. And maybe even partly being in this class, but what have you learned about Americans?
I don't think I've learned anything that's like different to what I knew before, I guess.
Yeah, just what have you learned? What's new? Yeah. What's your observation of Americans?
Of Americans?
Yeah, Americans. Just in general. It's very limited, right? But I just want to hear from you. I want you to just think about all the Americans out here, right, in the classroom. Like, what have you? Because we learn about ourselves from listening to other people, right? Remember the idea of the fish in the water and so on, right? Yeah. So, what have you learned? What do you know about Americans that you didn't know, or think about Americans that you didn't think when you were back in Kuwait?
A lot of people, I don't know if this is like just for Americans, but maybe it's something that I've realized since coming here. But a lot of people like to just follow people without really thinking about it critically, maybe. And it's in a lot of situations, but like they'll follow blindly to whatever is happening.
People just go along.
Yeah. And it's not like, it could be for the simplest and stupidest thing, but it's just you follow blindly without really thinking about it.
So do you think that that's happening more here than in Kuwait, for example?
I think a lot more, yeah.
I wonder if some of that isn't just that you're an international student, so you're an outsider here.
Okay.
So you're less likely to it's just there's I don't know if it's less likely, but you're an outsider.
Yeah, no, for sure, yeah.
I mean, not in a huge way. Just in this classroom, there's probably 100 international students, but you're still not going to follow in the same way.
Yeah, so it's a different mindset, I mean.
Yeah, different mindset, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, do you have anything else that for Americans in particular?
Not really.
Really? So, okay, but that's big. So basically what you're saying is, I come here, I'm at Penn State, I'm living in the US, I'm at Penn State, I'm not really observing anything in particular that's different about Americans as compared to people I know, young people I know in Kuwait.
Yeah, no, it's more or less the same. Because I feel like it's less about like the person, less about like where you're from, and more about like the person itself, like our demographic. So college students who I'm interacting with, when we're all the same. So like, okay, maybe there are a few differences, but I don't think that comes from being American.
Okay, all right. So I will say this then. Here's another thing that I observe, if I could follow up on that one of the kind of foundational kind of ideas for this class that grounds me in the course, right, and how I approach the topics that I approach is that people are mostly the same. So there's some slight differences, but people can come sit up here like you are from pretty much anywhere in the world, and they're largely going to follow. They're really not going to be that different.
No.
Yeah. Huh. All right. Okay. Cool, man. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No. Do you have any final words?
No, not really.
What's your middle name?
I don't have a middle name.
Seriously? Alina Matthew.
Alina Matthew.
That's it? No middle name?
That's it.
Oh, damn. All right, that's cool. Did you ever want a middle name?
Maybe as a kid, because everybody had one, but like not now. I don't really care.
Yeah,
doesn't make a difference.
All right.
Cool.
All right, man. All right, thanks, Alina. Yeah. Dude. Dude. We're winging it. I know you think that. I know you're winging it. All right. Dude. Logan, man, you're on. Okay, bro. You ready?
Yeah.
Go introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Logan, criminology major, psych minor. What else was it?
What year are you?
Oh, junior year. Yeah.
All right.
The whitest Puerto Rican you'll ever see.
You're fully Puerto Rican?
Half Puerto Rican, half German.
Half German?
Yeah.
All right. A lot of Germans in Puerto Rico, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, there was a German migration in Puerto Rico, so. All right. So listen, man. So you're, in that sense, you're not that white. All right. What's your truth, bro?
Well, when I first saw this.
Hold the mic close.
When I first saw this, the first thing that came to mind was like money, and like my take was just basically money is the route to freedom.
Money is the route to freedom? That's a truth?
Yeah. Because like how do I say this? Whenever you would see someone like trying to do their best or something like that, they would not always be able to do what they want. And sometimes they would need the money to do what they want. So like back in my high school, there would be people who would not be able to come to like the high school or something like that because they would have to work to provide for their family. So like that's one thing I know to be true, is if they had the money, they would actually have the freedom to come to school.
Yeah, but if they had the money and went to the school, they wouldn't have the experience of going somewhere else.
Yeah, but
and if you go somewhere else, you have the experience of living a different life. So you're free, then you encounter all the freedoms along there. So you're saying money is the ability to do things that we've decided we want to do with the money that we have, which doesn't have anything to do with freedom.
It's more so like, here, how do I word this? It's more so having the ability to choose. It gives you the ability to choose.
Yeah,
like for instance, if I like fail a class right now, I could like won't be able to take it again because I don't have the money. But like if someone else had the money to like retake a class, they would be able to afford it. They have the choice to do so.
But so here's, I want to just push that back on that. Choice is an obligation. You have to choose between these various things. So once you decide, once you have to make a choice, you're no longer free. Like you have to make the choice. So you've given up your freedom by saying, I'm going to make any particular choice, or I'm going to decide that I have to make a choice. And once you decide you have to make a choice, then your freedom's gone, man.
True. Well, actually, I want to know what also came to your mind when you saw this.
I said it out here when you weren't here, which is
I wasn't here.
You'll have to watch the tape. All right. Here, let me ask you. Bro, hang on a second. Hang on. I have something for you. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Dude. Bro, I can't believe it. All right, so listen, man. Can you zoom in on this? All right. Peace Pilgrim. So this woman on the cover, can you zoom in a little more? See her face? Right there. There she is. Okay? It's this woman. Her name is Peace Pilgrim. At some point in time, she had a name. And she gave up her name. In fact, she gave up everything, okay? I used to use this book in a class on, it doesn't matter what the class was, but this is my last copy. So I just cleaned out my office the other day on Saturday, and I after 34 years at Penn State, I had all my stuff in my office, and I saved two small boxes full of stuff, and I saved this book and another book. And here's what happened. I'm going to give it to you, by the way. So here's the deal. She decided that she wanted to be free, okay? So she got rid of her name. She called herself Peace Pilgrim. She walks around the world. She walked around. She's dead now. She had a comb. She had a toothbrush. And she had the clothes on her back. She had nothing else. And when her shoes wore out or she needed new clothes, she would wait till somebody gave them to her. She didn't have any money, so she didn't buy anything. Someone would just notice that she needed new shoes or needed something, and someone would give it to her, and then that was it, right? She owned nothing. She believed nothing. She gave up all her beliefs. She gave up everything about herself, her past, everything. She just gave it up. And the only thing that she had was she just walked across the country, back and forth, north and south, back and east and west, north and south. And she just was happy. That's it, man. She was just happy. and she spread peace. She was a pilgrim for peace because she didn't have an ideology. She didn't have anything to teach. She had nothing at all. She had her comb and her toothbrush, and that was it, my friend. She didn't have decisions to make. She'd wake up in the morning, and she'd be like, oh, I'm going to go on this way, or am I going to go this way? And it didn't matter. She would just kind of spin in a circle and decide, oh, I'm going to go that way. And then she would go. She ate when people gave her food. If they didn't give her food, she didn't eat. She slept wherever she was. She slept. So she used to be in the north in the warmer months. And that was it, man. If no one gave her food for several days, then she didn't eat. If she didn't have anywhere to sleep, she'd just sleep outside on the side of the road. That's freedom, my friend. She was free. She's the only human being who I've ever encountered who was actually, well, she's the only one for me I've encountered who's actually free.
That's actually really cool because, like, not many people are just able to give up everything that they know.
No, almost nobody is. Because they have ideas, like money is the key to freedom. And once you have that idea, then you become give up your freedom in the pursuit of money with the ability to have more choices, but the more choices are more oppression. Because when you have to choose, it's like you're going to walk in this classroom. If we have assigned seats, it's really good. You know you got to sit in your assigned seat. But otherwise, you could sit in any one of these seats, and then you'd be walking around going like, holy shit, where am I going to, where am I going to, oh, God, fuck. The whole thing, everything.
Isn't more choices better? Because, like, say if I don't know the person I'm sitting next to, I could just be like, hey, what's up? My name's Logan.
Dude, more choices can be better, but it's not freedom. You see, more choices is not freedom. Choices aren't free. Choices come with the burden of having to decide. She didn't have that. All she had to decide was, well, I'm going to keep brushing my teeth, so I got to have a toothbrush. And I'm going to comb my hair, although if you look at her hair right there, it doesn't look like she combed it that morning. Maybe she lost her comb. But, yeah.
It was a windy day.
Yeah, whatever. It was a windy day. It was a bad hair day. Yeah. Yeah, that's freedom.
Sam?
Yeah.
For the record, Jamie told me to tell you that a lot of people seems to agree with his position in the chat.
On the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, chat people, of course you do, because you're not free either, man. Peace, Pilgrim, Ms. Pilgrim, Ms. Peace, because you'd have to do that, and nobody wants to do that. Of course we don't want to do that. Who wants to have that?
So if we just give up every possession similar to her, is it more likely for us to be happy?
Not necessarily. No. Although she was pretty damn happy, man. Like, you can watch videos of her. She was pretty damn happy. And by the way, you know how she died? In a car crash. Yeah.
That sucks.
So, yeah, it sucks. But whatever. No, but it's not about that. It's about recognizing that decisions, opportunities, and things don't bring freedom.
And that's a truth.
It's a truth for me. It's
Okay.
one. But it doesn't mean I can get away from it. I mean, I can't get away from it. I mean, I'm just accepting that I can't be free. Yeah.
Isn't it possible to be free, though, or is it harder now in today's world?
Yeah, be her.
Would it be easier to be happy in earlier times or now?
Maybe in earlier times, actually. If I had to guess, I would say maybe in earlier times. Yeah. We clog our minds with all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, the more you have, the more you have to deal with. And everything is a weight. Every object, every opportunity, every decision is a weight. And so, okay. Irvin, you met Irvin, right?
Oh, yeah.
Irvin, when he was in prison, Irvin was far more free than anybody in this classroom. And he was in prison 52 years. And he, even when he was in solitary confinement, he was the most free. And in solitary confinement, that was it, 23 and a half hours a day. And he would get out, and then he'd come for 23 and a half hours a day. He was free. He had nothing in solitary confinement.
Do you
So it's
think
like-
that's all due to perspective?
Yeah, it's all perspective, but it's what it truly is. Yeah.
Sam, could I add something on top? Because, okay, Jamin was also saying that almost everyone's saying that she isn't free.
She's not, the
Yeah,
Peace
she's
Pilgrim is not free?
And also, but could I also add something on top
Yeah.
and helping you push back?
Yeah.
So most of y'all know I used to be homeless because y'all watched the video regarding me asking Irvin questions. And I will say, I didn't even have $300 at the time when I was homeless, but I have been the most free at the time when I was homeless because I had the choice to do anything from ground up. I am probably the richest I am now in my life. I'm able to pay for this school, but I feel the most inhibited in terms of my action because I gotta follow the school. I gotta follow the school laws. I gotta follow this curriculum that is set before me.
You have to make decisions.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
also, it feels to an extent that decisions made for me because I'm
totally.
in school. So, if the argument is, money gives you freedom, well, I'm the richest I am now, but I definitely feel a lot less free than I used to be.
Dude, it's you and Irvin, man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude. Nice backup. Me, and peace. All right. Anyway, dude, that's all. That's all I'm gonna say. And let me ask you another question. What have you noticed about? You've had the experience of people in. You've heard in this class from people from lots of different countries. What have you learned by listening to them?
Honestly, more than what I ever thought I would. Because not only have I been able to learn about people themselves, but different cultures as well. Because I'm not going to go to different cultures at this time in my life because I have to focus on school. But people are able to share their story, which I'm thankful for, and then just kind of tell me how it is.
So think about what Alina said about. It seems to me that she said it doesn't seem like Americans are that different from people back in Kuwait. Do you feel like that when you listen to international students here, that they seem to be really a lot like anybody from the U.S.?
Yeah, it's just a lot of cultures have a lot more similarities than people think from what I've gathered. It's just little key differences, but basically we all think the same.
Yeah. I hear that.
It's
We all think very similarly.
Yeah.
Dude, and you know what else? Everybody thinks what you think about having money and about being free. Yeah. Everyone thinks. Dude, you can have money. You can say, I want money because I want more choices.
Yeah.
That's true. You're going to have more choices if you have more money, but you're not going to be more free. You're going to be able to do different choices, but you're not going to be free. Dude, freedom is a different thing.
I guess that is true. And so once upon in my life, me and my family were on the brink of being homeless as well. And honestly, it was kind of heart-wrenching sometimes because you wouldn't have the choice. You would all just have to go to work and just go through your day and try to live day by day.
Yeah, but family being homeless is very different than that guy.
Oh
than
yeah,
G
no,
being
completely.
homeless. Yeah, than a single person.
Oh no, he's awesome.
Yeah, no. But I want to be really clear. That's what he experienced is not what you would experience in a family.
Yeah.
That's a whole different world, man.
Yeah, no. And thank you for sharing that, by the way, bro.
Yeah.
I forgot.
All right, dog. Okay, that's it. You're done. Hang on, right here. All right. Dude, wait. Do you have someone have a pen? Dude, I just want to sign this for you, all right? I'm going to say, go in peace. Dude, go in peace. Dude, anytime, man. Fuck. God. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you can be free. Oh my God. Yo, by the way, Marcus, you can come on up, man. Yo, listen. Here's what I want you to do. People on the stream, here's what I want you to do. Or anyone in class. I want you to try to make an argument that I just made. I want you to try to support the argument that Peace Pilgrim is the freest person that you'd ever meet. And instead of saying, I disagree because blah, 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 which is what you've always thought, right? You're going to follow what you've always thought. But there's no fun in that. And there's no education in that. There's no mind expansion in that. Make the argument that Peace Pilgrim is the freest person. Try to make that argument. And then if you can make that argument, then you're that's the process of educating oneself. Man, that's what it's about. So I'm not gonna, the reason I'm gonna make that argument is because, dude, what he said about having money leads to freedom, you think that, right? Yeah. Everyone thinks that. What the hell? Why do you think that I would come and make that argument? What's the point of that? That's the same damn thing everybody thinks everywhere. No, make the opposite. So it goes with what I said earlier about see the other side, the moderation. Truth is somewhere in the middle. Like, go there. But in this case, try to make the argument that truth is on the other side. It's the complete opposite of what I think. And if you can do that, then that's the process of educating ourselves, man. And that, bro, I'm getting right to the edge. Mark, first off, introduce yourself, man.
Marcus, I'm from South Korea, and I'm a data science major.
Data science. All right. Marcus, I'm right on the edge of resign, like no longer teaching. Like I can't hold the attention of opposites anymore. I can't do it. I might have to just go get a comb and a toothbrush, and just go, cause it just doesn't make sense anymore. Nothing makes sense. All right, bro. What's something you know to be true? That you know I'm going to disagree with and tell you why you're wrong, but
you choose your own destiny.
What's that?
You choose your own destiny.
You choose your own destiny. Yeah, oh yeah. How so, man?
No one is to blame for anything that happens to you in life except you.
Okay, so now you know I'm going to disagree with you on that. What do you think I'm going to say?
I feel like you're going to say there's a lot of people that you'll meet, and you are not the only factor that determines everything that happens to you in life.
Yeah. Dude, even you. What are you doing here? How'd you get here from Korea? What are you doing here?
So my parents don't like the Korean education system.
Yeah.
Where like everyone's like studying, they don't work out, they lack social skills like in general.
Yeah.
That's why my mom wanted me to study here.
Yeah. Wait, so your parents said one of the issues is if you go, did you take the Sunan exam? The CSAT?
No.
All right, okay, that's cool. So if you go abroad to go to school, you're going to learn you're going to learn to be in the world in a different way. And then you can come back to Korea and you'll have these different perspectives and different ways of seeing life. You'll have a different personality.
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't choose that destiny, your parents chose it for you.
I mean, I sort of agree with my parents, so.
Dude, you agree with your parents because they're your parents.
You're right.
Okay, so you better give us something else that you think is true, because we've not thrown that one out completely. Dude, I'm 3 for 3. Alina, got it? Logan, got it? I'm 3 for 3.
But I feel like that's the mindset that you should have in your life.
Okay, that's a different story.
To like succeed.
Okay, so the mindset that you think is important for success is the one in which you take responsibility.
Yeah.
You see yourself as being responsible for your destiny.
Yeah.
So how does that work out in your life?
Basically, if you blame everything on others, like you can't have personal growth. That's how I feel like.
So if you blame other things, but Koreans are pretty good at taking responsibility for themselves in general.
I think that's debatable.
All right, in what way? I mean, hang on. Let me do this. You're here. It's like this way or this way, right? So you would think in the United States, because we're such an individualistic culture, you think that we would be really over the top in terms of taking responsibility for ourselves. But look around here, man. It just seems like people are always blaming other people and other things. And so how do you think the U.S. compares to Korea in that way?
So I've been here for like 4 months, so
Okay.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
But I could clearly spot differences between South Korea and here.
Yeah, like what?
I feel like here there's like a lot of freedom and it's really diverse.
Okay.
In terms of like race and sexuality, it's
And
really
thinking.
diverse. Yeah.
And thinking. Whereas in Korea, there's more. It's like you're more following the thinking. You're more aware of what other people around you are thinking.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you another question. So you haven't been in the military yet?
No.
So can you just explain to the class how this works? Because there are certain countries in the world where everybody has to join the military, and Korea is one of them. So who joins?
So basically every man that's eligible for the military should go to the military before the age of like 40, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's ineligible?
Maybe mentally ill people or where someone's like physically incapable of doing so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so everyone joins. And so you're going to join?
Yeah.
When will you join?
After my first year, I'm going back to Korea. Gonna do my military service and then come back here for my second year.
So in May, you go back and join.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else that you feel like is true?
The earth is round, I don't know.
All right, okay, I got you, man. All right, that's cool. So you got to the place where you said, all right, it's better, we will grow more, and we'll be better prepared the more we take responsibility for our actions and ourselves.
Right.
And the more we do that, the more we're really ready to engage in the world, the better people we will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll buy that. I think that's true. But I don't think it changes our destiny. The destiny is the destiny because, dude, tonight you might decide I'm going to go to the library to study, and you make that decision, and you slip on some wet cement or something and fall and hit your head and get an aneurysm and die. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you don't know what your destiny is.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to leave you with this idea. So, every decision you make, okay? Yo, hang on. This actually, bro, this would be good for you. Every decision you make, like every doorway you walk through, has positive consequences and negative consequences. There are good things that are going to happen and bad things that are happening. Doesn't matter what the doorway is. So if it's a doorway that you really want to walk through, like, you graduate from Penn State and you land the best possible job, or you join the military in Korea, you get the best possible position. Down that path are bad things and good things. And if the worst thing happens to you, like, for example, you're on your way to the library tonight and you fall and you get a concussion and you spend 3 days in the hospital, there are going to be positive consequences from that and negative consequences. And at the end of your life, you're going to look back and you're going to be able to see all the positive and negative consequences that came from positive and negative things. And if you get that, all you got to do is understand that, and that's how you live a good life, man.
No, but what about having a concussion is positive?
Because positive things are going to happen. You're going to be in the hospital, and you're going to meet somebody. And maybe it's going to be like you're the person that becomes the best friend for the rest of your life. Or any number, or you decide, I can't do my data science major anymore. I'm going to major in something else. And because you major in something else, you find God. And because you find God, you become like a minister. And because you became a minister, you did something, you saved someone's life, or God knows what. I have no idea. It's endless. It just rolls like that. So the more you accept, bro, you get this, right? You get it? You see that? The more you accept everything that happens to you, and the more you accept that if I choose, Logan, this or this, doesn't matter which one I choose, positive things will happen and negative things will happen. Positive things will happen and negative things will happen. Doesn't matter. As long as you accept that, dude, life is awesome, man. Life is awesome.
Yeah.
You get that, right? You see that? You're like that's the Buddha. This is what Christians, this is what Christ was saying, okay? This is what the Buddha's saying. This is what everybody's saying. This is what it is.
Okay.
So it's not about that idea of taking responsibility. It's about the idea of accepting. Yeah. What do you want to join in the military? You want to be in the Army or the Marines, or what do you want to be?
I just want to join the Army and get over with it.
Yeah? Were you in the Army, bro? You were in the Army? Yeah. Dude. Guy will tell you what it was all about, man. All right. All right, man. Dude. Thanks. All right. T, come here. Come here, man. Wait, hang on. Yeah, we got 3 minutes left. Just in time for this guy. Really fast. Come here. Dude, see that? Have a seat. Dude, this guy.
All right, so I guess the question would be, what is my truth?
No. Yeah, that's right. What's your truth? What's the one thing you know to be true? Dude, and by the way, hang on. They applauded you. So they really, really want to hear. Okay?
Well, the only thing I definitely know for sure that is true is that there's nothing that can be fully true. Because do you think there's going to be, like, I know that's a very ambiguous and philosophical answer, but one of the things that I always think back to is, so during one of my welding conversations, I had one of the people that were participating was saying.
Wait, hang on. Go ahead.
Was saying, I don't intend to vote, because I don't know enough.
Okay.
I didn't really say it back then, but with hindsight, there is the response I want to give it now. Then do get educated. Try to learn. As I've said, there's no full truth, but there is as close as you can get to it.
No, not as close as you. Right. You can get a little bit closer to truth.
Right.
Okay. But you know what? The more you learn, the closer you get to truth, the more you see that truth it's like sanding your fingers, that there is no truth.
Exactly.
So then the closer you don't get to it, the further you get to truth.
But that's...
She gets that.
But that's the thing. It's a never-ending grind, but that's what makes it fun.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, I got it, man. All right, that's why we're here, by the way, dude. Thanks, man. All right, you guys. Hey, so be ready for the quiz. The exam. Do not. Make sure you're ready for it. It's only 18 questions, or don't be. C's earned degrees. It's all good, bro. All right.